Yo, what's up, y'all? SA here, and after the last episode of Better Call Saul, I feel empty, I feel distraught, I feel like Walter when Skyler told him. Anyways, the last episode was half Kim showing how her daily life has been since the 6 years she's seen Saul, and the other half was continuing the cliffhanger we were left on in episode 11. This is probably my favorite Gene episode to date. It's definitely getting better and better every episode we spend in the Gene timeline. We also got an answer on if the phone call and the teaser leaks were true, so we'll get into that when we reach that point of the video. Make sure to watch the whole video if you don't want to miss anything. Anyways, spoilers for Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, and El Camino. Let's get into it. The first thing we see is Saul's wall during the Breaking Bad timeline getting a ball thrown at it by Saul. This reminds me a lot of when Jimmy used to throw the tennis ball in the phone store. We also see Saul's degree that seems to have been changed since he didn't graduate with the name Saul Goodman. Saul gets a phone call from Francesca, who is rushing him to get ready for Saul's meeting with Kim. Saul opens up his paperwork and is revealed that she's coming over to sign the divorce papers. And it's clear he's struggling to keep his composure. He rings Francesca on his Bluetooth, telling her to send Kim in, and it cuts into the intro. We then see someone chopping up some vegetables and the camera pans up, revealing that it's Kim during the Gene timeline. Kim's new boyfriend comes in and Kim asks him if he brought the mayonnaise that she sent him to get. He says he got Miracle Whip instead, and listen, I'm not no condiment cop or mayo mayor or whatever you want to call me, but bro, Miracle Whip is not a replacement for mayo. So just based off this scene, fuck this guy and fuck whatever he stands for.
Today we will be reviewing Kraft Miracle Whip.
Anyways, we see more of her new life with all her new friends, and the vibe they're just giving off just reminds me of that one creepy ass area in Fallout 3.
Hey there, sport. Beautiful day, isn't it? Say, you should go talk to Betty. She's waiting for you over on the playground. Have fun, sport.
After they clean up, they start having sex and weak ass strokes, weak ass moans, weak ass dick. But on a serious note, everything we've seen so far for Kim has been completely nonchalant, so it really does seem like she's just living her normal life bored out of her mind. We know that Kim was never like this, and she showed so much more passion towards everything. There's also this one scene where Kim is putting together a plain puzzle with no design or theme on it. I wonder if this is symbolic of how plain her life is now. We then see her husband or boyfriend or whatever he is goes to work, and we see Kim just sleeping alone at night. We then cut to her driving to her job, which was revealed to be Palm Coast Sprinklers last episode. We see her going through her daily work schedule until she gets a call from Gene, which makes her cover her window to her office. She's in her office looking at the blinking light showing that he's on the other line and picks it up. She picks it up and hears Saul's voice and is in complete disbelief. She checks outside her office to see if the receptionist is hearing in or not. She asks him what he wants and he explains that he just wants to catch up. She tells Gene that he shouldn't be calling her. Kim keeps quiet throughout the whole call, just letting him talk, and Gene notices this. He asks her to say something like he wants some kind of reassurance that she still cared for him. She tells Gene to turn himself and he gets angry, saying that she doesn't know what he did or didn't do. He also says that she should be the one turning herself in because she has such a guilty conscience about it. I don't think Gene really means this, and I think he says this due to the fact that he's still really hurt about her leaving him. He also explains that everyone that had to do with the Howard situation is dead, and that there is nothing stopping her from turning herself in. After saying all that, it sounds like Gene is trying to express how he really feels and how he just wants to talk to her. But obviously he couldn't find his words since he's not really good at talking. He then says, "I'm glad you're alive," and slams the phone down. I wonder if the audio that was played during last week's episode when Gene was calling was paraphrased on purpose. We do hear certain parts of the conversation that mirror the leaks from my last video, so I really do wonder if they spliced it all together on purpose for us to find. Her coworker then knocks on the door saying it's time to sing happy birthday to someone in the office. We see a scene of the whole office singing, and at least it's way better than what Skyler did for Ted.
Happy birthday to you.
I find the birthday celebration very interesting since it also is the same day as Gene's birthday. So I think the whole birthday celebration is getting to her. We then cut to Kim landing in Albuquerque. We see the toll booth that Mike used to work at being completely empty and replaced by just a machine now. This just completely breaks my heart since Mike is dead in this timeline, and it just reminds us that he's not there. Kim goes inside the courthouse and she sees a lawyer that reminds her of herself. She has her ponytail and high heels exactly how Kim used to. It reminds her of the lawyer work she used to do for the pro bono cases. You can tell she misses being a lawyer more than anything in the world. She's actually here to file a report, which we don't see on screen, but then it cuts to Kim going to Howard's ex-wife Cheryl. Kim hands a letter explaining to her everything that happened with no details missing. After reading it all, Cheryl asks why he was murdered and Kim answers he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Cheryl then asks where the body is, and she says that she doesn't know and she doesn't think that the police will find them. Kim tries to make Cheryl feel better by saying he didn't suffer during his death. Cheryl then says he didn't suffer in a mocking way and explains how the whole picture they painted about Howard is all he's remembered for. So he indeed did suffer right before his death. Kim then says she wants to make it right and change all that. Cheryl then asks if she's going to be tried, but Kim says she doesn't know. This angers Cheryl because she remembers Kim being mentioned by Howard as a great lawyer, which honestly makes the whole thing even more depressing. Kim explains that there's no physical evidence or witnesses that can help the district attorney take her to trial. Cheryl threatens to sue her and take everything she has, but I think she's just hurt and trying to do anything to affect Kim. This doesn't faze Kim because she literally has nothing and she doesn't care what happens to her life now. He then asks Kim why she's doing all this, and it cuts back to Kim dead silent staring at her. I wonder if this is supposed to imply that she has another plan, because I don't know if this is going to be the last we see of Kim. Yeah, it is possible that she's doing all this because of the conversation that she had with Gene. Maybe she has something else planned. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. We then see her driving to the airport and going back home to Florida. Her boyfriend isn't even picking her up, which makes me wonder if he even knows that she's doing all of this. She gets on the bus and starts uncontrollably sobbing, showing that her life in Florida is all an act and exactly how Gene has lived his life. I think she's still fighting demons inside her head from the trauma that the Howard events caused, but she's doing what Saul did by faking a personality, living day by day, doing anything she can not to think about it. The way she's crying makes it seem like she's been bottling a lot of emotions since he moved to Florida. We then cut back to Gene entering inside the house he broke into. We hear snoring in the background, so we know that the man with cancer is still alive. He walks into the living room and sees the man on the floor passed out. Gene then tests his luck by pressing a key on the piano, which doesn't wake up the man. Gene then peeks around the house and finds his bank statement and investment portfolio. We see the amount he has invested is actually the same amount that Walter told Jesse he needed to support his family before he died.
$240,000 plus 360 plus 137. 737. $737,000. That's what I need. That is what I need.
Gene then sees Jeff arrive outside for their getaway, but Gene gets greedy and decides to keep searching the house. Gene then goes upstairs, pours himself a drink, and steals watches from the Cancer Man's collection. He even touches the urn of the dead dog that Cancer Man has. The whole scene makes it seem like he's trying to be caught, so I wonder if that's why he even came here in the first place. Maybe he likes the thrill of possibly being caught. While he's moving the urn, Gene looks under the balcony he's on and sees that the man is no longer laying there. Gene tries to slowly go downstairs, but hears a toilet flush very close to him. He goes back upstairs and we see the Cancer Man sit on the bottom of the stairs, trapping Gene upstairs. While this is happening, we see Jeff outside looking at his mirror since there is a police car parked right behind him. Gene then picks up the urn and sneaks up on the Cancer Man, getting ready to hit him and knock him out. Before he's about to hit him, the Cancer Man falls back asleep. I'm not gonna lie, I really disliked this part of the episode because it was just too convenient. I don't know how the drugs they used work, so maybe that's like common for it to happen, but I don't know, it just kind of felt a little weird to me that this was so coincidental. Gene is able to move past him and he goes outside, but we see him go back inside due to the police being right outside. We see Jeff getting ready to change gear with intense music in the background, and we cut to the cop's point of view parked right behind him. They're not even on to Jeff or Gene, they're just talking about fish tacos and happen to park there. While they're talking, they're interrupted by Jeff's tires squealing, and we see Jeff swerve around and crash into the car in front of him. I'm not sure if this was on purpose or not due to Jeff being kind of dumb, but at the same time used to get in trouble back in Albuquerque, so maybe he's not as much of an amateur as we think he is. We then cut back to the Breaking Bad timeline where Kim is signing the divorce papers. It's complete silence until Saul asks Kim what she thinks about the office. This could be a reference to when Kim told Jimmy that Saul Goodman needs a nice office and a nice car. Saul then says she's gonna regret not taking the Sandpiper settlement because of how much it was and what she could buy with it in Florida. Jimmy has already transformed into the Saul Goodman we know him as in Breaking Bad. I'm not sure how long this is before he's involved with Walter, but this is the latest scene chronologically where Kim has her earrings and she has her hair in a ponytail. Saul then tells her to have a nice life, pretending that none of this is hurting him like he usually does when he's dealing with a lot of pain. It's clear she's fighting back a lot of tears during this. She wants to say a lot of things on her mind, but she can't put herself to do it. The way that Saul acted towards her in this moment definitely parallels to how Kim acts towards him during the phone call from earlier in the episode. As Kim is walking out of Saul's office, Saul calls Francesca sweet cheeks, referencing to what Saul calls her in Breaking Bad. He then tells her to get the next client ready, likely so he can work and not think about a divorce. Francesca then calls out Emilio, which is Jesse's ex-partner from Breaking Bad. But this is such a cool moment for anyone that's watched the show. Kim then goes outside smoking a cigarette, and the camera pans away from this pillar and shows Jesse. Jesse asks Kim for a cigarette and starts talking to her. They have small talk until Jesse recognizes her as the lawyer that defended Combo. Combo is one of Jesse's friends that was killed early on in Breaking Bad. Jesse then asks if Saul is a good lawyer due to Amelia wanting to go to Saul since he saw him on TV. Jesse then says that a funny commercial isn't a good way to choose a lawyer. Kim then responds saying that when she knew him, he was a great lawyer, and then walks into the rain to her car. This one line itself is heartbreaking, knowing how Kim really feels about this whole Saul Goodman persona, especially since she really did help form him. I also love the Jesse cameo since I feel like Aaron's Paul performance is way better than last week's. I feel like he was able to slip right back into the old Jesse. Next thing we see is Gene take the bus home while he waits for a call from Jeff. This scene reminds me a lot of the beginning of the show where he would sit and wait for one client to call him when he used to practice law with the name Jimmy McGill. The phone rings and Gene picks up to Jeff pretending to be his son. He explains that the cops think he's committed a robbery due to the signs of breaking and entering and items stolen in the house he was parked in front of. Gene acts calm and tells Jeff that he'll be out there by lunchtime. He says that Jeff's mom will be there to pick him up and that he'll get the best lawyer representation in the whole wide world. He hangs up and calls Marion. Gene then tells her that Jeff has been arrested. Marion starts freaking out and says that this isn't the first time that Jeff has been arrested, and that back in Albuquerque, she used to have to bail him out by maxing out her credit cards that she's still paying off. Gene explains that he will help with the money and that Jeff will pay him back. Gene then explains that the Omaha bail system is a lot easier than back in Albuquerque. Marion looks confused because she remembers that Gene told her that he's never been to Albuquerque. Marion then questions why Jeff called Gene instead of her, and he tries to play it off by saying that Jeff was too scared to tell her himself. Gene then says that he's going to take a shower and come pick up Marion to get it taken care of. Marion, still suspicious of the whole thing, asks if Buddy got any trouble as well. I think this was the last straw that made her suspect Gene because it seems like Jeff and Buddy do everything together, so it wouldn't make sense that Jeff was the only one caught. After the phone call, she takes the Ethernet out and puts it in the laptop. We then cut to Gene singing a song, completely oblivious to Marion suspecting Gene. Gene goes inside through the back while Marion is watching something on her laptop with her headphones on. Gene tells her to put on her clothes so they can go out and bail out Jeff, but Marion then tells Gene to go on without her because she'll just slow everything down. Gene hears sirens from the laptop and he opens it up and increases the volume. He sees that it's his famous commercial playing from when he was Saul Goodman. We can see the reflection of color from his glasses, which brings the whole show full circle since this is how the show started. Gene asks Marion what she was watching and she says, "You tell me," clearly knowing that Saul and Gene are the same two people. Gene then asks what Jeff told Marion, but then she says she searched up Con Man Albuquerque and it popped up right along with his ads. Marion tries to connect the Ethernet to the phone trying to call the police, but Gene stops her and starts wrapping it around like a wire like he's about to choke her. Honestly, this one part really scared me because I was actually thinking that he was gonna do it. I didn't know how far that Gene has gone mentally, so I didn't know if he was gonna actually do it or not. It genuinely made me scared that he was gonna do it because Gene has never had to do anything like that before. He also tries to manipulate her by saying Jeff is in trouble and needs their help. As Gene gets closer to Marion, she pulls out a life alert alarm from her neck and Gene tries to talk her out of pressing it. Gene then steals it from her while she's saying that she trusted him. Gene feels bad about the whole thing and lets go of the life alert and lets her call them. She then tells the life alert lady that Saul Goodman is in her kitchen threatening him and he runs out of the back door while the episode ends. This cliffhanger is insane and I can't wait to see what happens next. We also get a confirmation that the leak I covered in my last video was real since it played during the end of this episode. I also wanted to say thank y'all so much for supporting the last video since it's actually the most viewed I've ever done, even including my other channel. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and of course hit that notification bell so you never miss out on an essay video. I'll see y'all next time, and essay out.